The rain pounded against the grimy windows of our rundown Brooklyn apartment as my father shoved me forward, his grip like iron on my arm. "This is for the family. Alex," he growled, his voice thick with desperation and whiskey. I stumbled into the dimly lit room, heart racing, only to lock eyes with him, Victor Reyes, the man who'd just bought me like some piece of property to settle a debt I never asked for. I was 22, fresh out of community college with dreams of escaping the cycle of poverty that had chained my family for generations. But dreams don't pay bills, and my father's gambling had dug a hole so deep that the only way out was through me. Victor, a 30-something tech mogul who'd built his empire from nothing in Silicon Valley before relocating to New York, had loaned my old man 50 grand last year. Interest piled up like snow in a blizzard. And now, here I was, collateral in a deal struck in the shadows of desperation. Victor lounged in a leather armchair, his sharp jawline shadowed by the low light, green eyes piercing through me like they could see every secret I'd ever hidden. He wasn't the monster I'd imagined, had no scars or sneers, just an aura of quiet power that made the room feel smaller. "Sit," he commanded, his voice smooth as aged bourbon, pointing to the chair opposite him. I obeyed, not because I wanted to, but because the alternative was watching my family evicted onto the streets. "You're mine now, Alex Thompson," he said, leaning forward, elbows on his knees. "For the next year, you'll live in my penthouse, handle my personal affairs, and repay what your family owes through service. No running. No games. Understand?" His words hung heavy, laced with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. But inside, rage boiled. How could this be legal? In America, of all places. But underground deals like this thrived in the cracks of the system, where the rich bent rules and the poor paid the price. That night, a black SUV whisked me away to Manhattan's Upper East Side, the city lights blurring into streaks as we crossed the bridge. Victor's penthouse was a world apart, marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park, art pieces that probably cost more than my family's entire life savings. He showed me to a guest room that was bigger than our apartment, complete with a king bed and ensuite bath. "Get some rest," he said, his hand brushing my shoulder for a split second, igniting an unwelcome spark. "Tomorrow, we start." Sleep evaded me. I tossed, replaying the day's horrors, plotting escape routes in my mind. But dawn brought reality crashing back. Victor was up early, in the kitchen brewing coffee, dressed in a crisp shirt that hugged his athletic frame. "Breakfast," he said, sliding a plate of eggs and toast my way. I ate in silence, studying him. Why me? There had to be more to this than debt collection. Rumors swirled about Victor was openly gay, a philanthropist who funded LGBTQ+ shelters, yet ruthless in business. Did he see me as a conquest? My first task was mundane, organizing his schedule. As I sifted through emails on his laptop, I glimpsed his life board meetings, charity galas, private jets to LA. But beneath the polish, there were hints of loneliness, unanswered messages from exes, photos of solo travels. Why do this? I blurted out one afternoon, as we worked side by side in his home office. He paused, pen in hand. Your father begged, and I saw potential in you. Potential. It felt like a cage disguised as opportunity. Days blurred into weeks. I cooked, cleaned, ran errands, menial work that grated on my pride. But Victor wasn't cruel. He was distant, almost kind in fleeting moments. One evening, after a long day, he found me on the balcony, staring at the skyline. Homesick? He asked, joining me with 2 glasses of wine. I took one, the cool glass grounding me. For what? A life of scraping by. We talked then. Really talked. About my aspirations to become a writer. His rise from a foster kid in Chicago to tech tycoon. His vulnerability cracked my defenses, revealing a man scarred by abandonment. Yet tension simmered. I'd catch him watching me, his gaze lingering too long, stirring confusion in my chest. I'd always known I was gay, but buried it deep in a family that wouldn't understand. Victor's presence amplified it, like a magnet pulling me closer. One night, after a heated argument over a botched errand I'd forgotten, his dry cleaning pinned me against the wall, breath hot on my neck. "You test me, Alex," he murmured. "But you're not leaving." Fear mixed with something electric, and I pushed him away, heart pounding. As the first month ended, cracks appeared in my resolve. Victor invited me to a gala, dressing me in a tailored suit that made me feel seen, not owned. Among the elite, he introduced me as his assistant, but his hand on my lower back spoke volumes. Whispers followed a speculation about our arrangement. Jealousy flared when a charming investor flirted with me, and Victor's possessive glare sent him scurrying. Later, in the limo home, silence thickened. "You enjoyed that?" he asked, voice low. I met his eyes. Maybe I did. It was a challenge, and he rose to it, pulling me into a kiss that shattered barriers. The kiss was fire-urgent, demanding, tasting of wine and unspoken desires. I melted into it, hands fisting his shirt, before reality slammed back. "This changes nothing," I gasped, pulling away. "I'm still your prisoner." He cupped my face, thumb tracing my lip. "Then why does it feel like freedom?" That night, I lay awake, body humming, mind racing. Was this Stockholm Syndrome, or something real? The next morning, awkwardness hung like fog. Victor acted normal, but his touches lingered, brushing hair from my forehead, guiding me with a hand on my elbow. I dove into work, but curiosity gnawed. Snooping in his study, I found files on my family, records of payments he'd made anonymously to keep us afloat even before the deal. Why? Confronting him led to revelations. "I saw myself in you," he admitted. "Lost. Fighting. I wanted to help. But your father insisted on this twisted exchange." Guilt twisted in me. My family had sold me, but Victor had given them a lifeline. Still, resentment festered. I plotted escape, stashing cash from petty errands. But as weeks passed, bonds formed. We shared meals, laughed over movies, debated politics late into the night. Victor opened up about his past abusive foster homes, coming out in a hostile world, building walls to protect his heart. His strength inspired me, and in quiet moments, I saw the man beneath the mogul, kind, wounded, yearning for connection. One rainy afternoon, alone in the penthouse, I found a journal in his drawer, pages filled with entries about me from the day I arrived, noting my defiance, to recent ones confessing growing affection. "He's more than a debt." One read, "He's awakening parts of me I thought dead." Tears blurred my vision. Was I falling for my captor? That evening, Victor returned soaked from a meeting. I helped him out of his coat, our proximity igniting sparks. "Alex," he whispered, pulling me close. This time, I didn't resist. Our lips met softly, building to passion that carried us to his bedroom. Clothes shed, bodies entwined. It was more than physical, it was surrender. Trust blooming in the ruins of coercion. In his arms, I felt valued, not owned. But dawn brought doubt. Was this love, or manipulation? I needed space. Slipping out, I wandered Central Park, phone in hand, tempted to call home. My mother answered, voice weary. We're okay now. Thanks to him. But Alex, are you? Her words pierced. For the first time, I realized the deal had saved them. But at what cost to me? Returning, I found Victor pacing, worry etching his features. I thought you'd left. We talked for hours, unraveling the mess. He offered to void the contract. Let me go free. But I don't want you to. He confessed, voice breaking. Not unless you want to. Tears fell as I admitted my feelings complicated. Real. Born from ashes. Yet peace was short-lived. My father, hearing rumors, showed up demanding more money, threatening to expose Victor's purchase to the press. Blackmail loomed, turning our sanctuary into a battlefield. Victor's lawyers geared up, but I saw the toll: sleepless nights, strained smiles. This is my fault, I said, holding him. No, he replied. It's ours to fix together. In the midst of chaos, we grew closer. Stolen moments amid strategy sessions, kisses in hidden corners, whispered promises. Victor taught me self-defense, empowering me beyond servitude. I wrote stories inspired by our journey, sharing drafts with him, his feedback fueling my passion. The confrontation came at a family dinner Victor insisted on hosting. My parents arrived, tense, over steak and wine. Truth spilled. My father admitted his addiction, apologized for using me as pawn. Mother cried, hugging me tight. Victor, ever gracious, forgave, offering rehab funding. But the real shift was in me standing tall, voicing my hurt, claiming my agency. As tensions eased, Victor pulled me aside. You don't belong to me, Alex. You belong with me if you choose. His words, vulnerable and true, sealed it. I chose him, not out of obligation, but love. Months later, the year mark approached. No longer bound by debt, we built a life him pursuing writing, him supporting without control. We volunteered at shelters, helping others escape cycles of despair. Our story, once shrouded in shame, became a beacon love can redeem, even from the darkest deals. In the end, what started as chains forged something unbreakable. I didn't escape because I found home in his arms, where belonging meant freedom, not possession. And in America's land of second chances, we wrote our own happily ever after, proving that from death's shadow, hearts can soar. The gala lights glittered like stars trapped in crystal chandeliers. But my mind was a storm. Victor's hand on my back felt like a brand, possessive yet protective. As we navigated the sea of tuxedos and gowns in the Metropolitan Museum, whispers followed us, curious eyes dissecting our every move, wondering about the young man at the arm of New York's most eligible bachelor. I'd been with Victor for 3 months now, and the lines between duty and desire had blurred into something I couldn't define. That night, as we danced under the grand dome, his body pressed close. I felt the shift. You're stunning, he murmured in my ear, breath warm against my skin. Heat flushed through me, and for a moment, the world faded, just us, swaying to the orchestra's melody. But reality intruded when Ethan, a sleek venture capitalist with a predatory smile, cut in. Mind if I borrow him? He asked Victor, who tensed but nodded. Ethan's hands were bold, his conversation laced with innuendo. Victor's lucky to have you, he said, eyes roaming. Jealousy wasn't my intent, but seeing Victor's jaw clench from across the room stirred something primal. In the limo home, silence crackled. Did you enjoy flirting? Victor finally asked, voice edged. I turned, defiant. Maybe it's nice to feel wanted, not owned. He grabbed my wrist, pulling me across the seat. You think I don't want you? His kiss was fierce, claiming, erasing doubts in a rush of heat. We barely made it to the penthouse before clothes hit the floor, bodies colliding in a tangle of need and emotion. Waking in his bed, sheets tangled around us. Vulnerability hit. Victor traced patterns on my back, soft in the morning light. This isn't just about the dead anymore, he said. For me, it never was. His confession unlocked doors. I shared my fears, my hidden dreams. He listened, really listened, making me feel heard for the first time. Life settled into a rhythm. Mornings in the kitchen, coffee brewing as we planned days. Afternoons, I'd write while he worked, stealing glances. Evenings brought intimacy, dinners out, walks in the park, hands intertwined. But shadows lingered. My family called sporadically, gratitude mixed with guilt. "We're proud of you," Mom said once, but her tone hinted at unspoken regrets. One weekend, Victor surprised me with a trip to the Hamptons. The beach house was serene, waves crashing like applause. We walked the shore, barefoot, talking futures. "What if the year ends and you stay?" he asked, stopping to face me. Wind whipped his hair, eyes earnest. "I'd want that," I admitted, heart swelling. Our kiss there, salty and sweet, felt like a vow. But paradise cracked when I found an email on his computer accidental. While booking flights, it was from a private investigator, detailing my family's ongoing debts, hidden even from me. Anger surged. "You're still spying." I confronted him that night. Over candlelit dinner turned battlefield. He sighed. "I wanted to protect you. Your father's slipping again." Betrayal stung, but his concern softened it. We argued, voices rising, until exhaustion led to make-up sex that reaffirmed our bond. Back in the city, I met with friends I'd neglected. Jamie, my college buddy, eyed me suspiciously over beers in a Greenwich Village bar. "This sounds like a fairy tale with fangs." "Alex, you sure you're not brainwashed?" His words planted seeds of doubt. Was I romanticizing captivity? That night, I tested boundaries, staying out late. Victor waited up, worry lines deep. I was scared, he admitted. His vulnerability disarmed me. We talked till dawn, forging deeper trust. As fall painted the city in oranges and golds, our relationship evolved. Victor introduced me to his circle artists, activists, all welcoming. At a pride event, we marched hand in hand, flags waving. "This is who I am," he said, proud. I realized then, he wasn't hiding me. He was sharing his world. Yet drama escalated when my brother, Mike, showed up unannounced. "Dad's in trouble again," he blurted, eyes desperate. Loan sharks circled, demanding payment Victor had already covered. It was a setup. Me father had borrowed more, using my name. Fury boiled. Victor stepped in, calm as ever. "I'll handle it," he promised, but I insisted on joining. We met the thugs in a dingy warehouse in Queens. Tension thick as fog. Victor's security lurked, but words flew like punches. "The kid's ours now," one sneered. Victor's response was steel. "Touch him, and you'll regret it." A scuffle ensued, fists, shouts until police sirens wailed, tipped off anonymously. In the aftermath, holding each other in the ER for minor bruises. Relief washed over us. "We're in this together," I whispered. Healing brought clarity. I enrolled in writing classes, Victor cheering me on. Our nights grew Tinder's-low dances in the living room, shared baths bubbling with laughter. Love wasn't declared in grand gestures, but in quiet acts. Him remembering my favorite coffee, me surprising him with homemade meals. But inner turmoil persisted. Dreams haunted me, running from chains, only to turn back. Therapy, suggested by Victor, helped unpack it. "You're reclaiming your power," the counselor said. Sessions revealed my family's toxicity, my own resilience. One crisp evening, atop the Empire State Building, Victor knelt not with a ring, but a key to the penthouse. You're home, if you want. Tears brimmed. I do. Our embrace sealed a partnership, equal and free. As winter approached, threats faded. My family entered recovery, bonds mending slowly. Victor and I hosted Thanksgiving, laughter filling the air. In toasts, gratitude flowed for second chances, for love found in unlikely places. Our story taught me, from coercion can bloom consent, from debt, devotion. In America's melting pot, where identities clash and converge, we found harmony. Snow-blanketed Central Park, turning the city into a hushed wonderland. But inside, storms raged. Victor's business rival, Marcus Hale, a cutthroat real estate developer, unearthed our arrangement through leaks from my father's loose lips. Blackmail notes arrived, demands for insider info or exposure that could ruin Victor's reputation. Panic gripped us. I'll fight this, Victor vowed, pacing the study, phone glued to his ear with lawyers. I felt responsible, a weight crushing my chest. This is because of me. He pulled me close. No, because of greed. We'll face it together. His strength bolstered mine. But fear gnawed. What if it destroyed us? Investigations revealed Marcus's vendetta, a lost deal years ago, festering into obsession. We fortified, changed locks, hired more security. Paranoia set in. Every shadow seemed a threat. One night, a brick shattered our window. Note attached, he belongs to no one. Shards glittered like broken promises. Victor held me as police swarmed. His arms a fortress. Amid danger, intimacy deepened. We made love with urgency, as if each touch could be the last. I can't lose you, he whispered post-climax. Body slick. I traced his scars, literal from childhood fights, metaphorical from heartbreaks. You won't. Strategy sessions turned war rooms. I contributed, researching Marcus's weaknesses online, uncovering shady deals. Victor praised my ingenuity. You're my partner, Alex. Empowerment surged. No longer the victim. I was an ally. A breakthrough came via an old contact, a whistleblower in Marcus's firm. We met in a crowded Times Square diner. Info exchanged in hushed tones. He's laundering money through properties, she revealed. Armed, Victor's team built a case, turning tables. But Marcus struck back. Paparazzi hounded us. Flashing cameras blinding. Headlines screamed, "Tech tycoon's secret slave." Humiliation burned. At a press conference, Victor stood tall. Alex is my partner, not property. Our past is private. Our future, bright. His defense, raw and real, warmed me amid the chill. Public scrutiny tested us. Friends distanced. Family fretted. Mom called, sobbing. Come home. Temptation flickered. But Victor's eyes pleaded. Stay? I did. Our bond steel forged. In quieter moments, we escaped to a cabin in the Adirondacks. Snowed in. We reconnected, board games by fire. Hot cocoa kisses. Tell me your fears, he urged. I confessed lingering doubts about power imbalance. He listened, then shared his own fear of unworthiness. Vulnerability knit us tighter. Back in the fray, climax loomed. Marcus invited Victor to negotiate at his office. I insisted on going. Hidden wire ready. Tension peaked in the sleek boardroom. Drop the charges, or your boy's story goes viral. Marcus sneered. Victor countered with evidence. Or yours does. Chaos erupted. Marcus lunged. Security intervened. Arrests followed. Scandal erupting in media fireworks. Relief washed over us in the aftermath. Hugging in the lobby. Tears mixed with laughter. It's over, Victor said. But scars remained. Trust rebuilt slowly. With threats gone, we focused on healing. I published my first short story, inspired by our saga, in a literary mag. Victor beamed at the launch party. Proud of you. Our life normalized dates in cozy bistros. Weekend getaways. Yet a final twist, my father, sober now, sought reconciliation. At a coffee shop meet, apologies flowed. I failed you. Forgiveness came hard. But for peace, I extended it. Victor supported, never pressuring. As spring bloomed, we planned a trip to San Francisco. Victor's roots. Walking Golden Gate. Wind whipping. He proposed informally. Marry me. When ready. Joy exploded. Yes. Our journey taught resilience. Love withstands storms. Emerging stronger. In America's pursuit of happiness, we claimed ours. Debt transformed to destiny. Cherry blossoms danced in Washington Square Park, symbolizing renewal as Victor and I strolled, hands linked. The ordeal with Marcus behind us. Life felt lighter. Possibilities endless. But inner reflections surfaced. Was our love pure? Or tainted by origins? I dove into writing, channeling emotions into a novel about redemption. Victor read drafts, offering insights that sharpened my voice. This is powerful, he said one evening, eyes shining. His encouragement fueled me, turning passion into purpose. Community involvement grew. We volunteered at an LGBTQ+ center in Chelsea, mentoring youth facing similar struggles. One kid, Tyler, reminded me of myself trapped by family woes. You escaped, he said admiringly. We did. I corrected, glancing at Victor. Sharing our story, anonymized, inspired hope, highlighting that chains can break. Family ties mended. Holidays brought gatherings awkward at first, but warming. Dad, in recovery, bonded with Victor over sports talk. Mom baked pies, hugging us tight. You've built something beautiful. Acceptance healed old wounds. Professionally, Victor scaled back, delegating to spend more time with me. We traveled Paris cafes, Tokyo streets, creating memories unmarred by past. In Rome, under Trevi stars, we tossed coins, wishing for eternity. But doubts crept in quiet nights. What if I leave? I mused aloud once. Victor tensed. I'd let you. Heartbroken. His honesty reassured. Choice was mine. A pivotal moment, my book's publication deal. At the signing, Victor proposed properly, ring gleaming. From the day you arrived, you own my heart. Tears flowed amid cheers. Yes. Wedding planning blended traditions, intimate ceremony in the Hamptons. Vows heartfelt. You taught me freedom and love, I said. He replied. You gave me belonging without possession. Honeymoon in Hawaii, beaches, sunsets. Passion reignited. Back home, we adopted a dog, symbolizing family. Years blurred, but love endured. We advocated for debt reform, turning personal pain to public good. Our story, once secret, became a TED Talk. Victor speaking on vulnerability, me on resilience. In retrospect, debt sold me, but love redeemed. America's dream isn't perfection, but perseverance. We proved, from ownership to partnership, hearts find home. As I watched Victor play with our pup in the park, contentment filled me. No escape needed. Here was where I belonged freely, fully.